What is up, YouTube? And we are back, and we have lots of data. Week 5, and we have numbers, and they are not all good. However, they're somewhat to be expected. So, yeah, my flicking sucks. It's pretty bad. I did record a video of like a full training session, which I'm going to post on a day that I don't have a lot of content. That's my surreptitious plan. So if I go too long without posting anything, I'm just going to walk you through some of my thoughts on what I'm going through as I'm going through my playlist. But yeah, for some reason, when I record from AimLab, the actual animation, you swear to God, I was doing all the video processing for Disney. It brings my laptop to its knees, so I start losing frames. And if you're trying to do like really fine flick shots and speed and micro shots and all that type of stuff while you're losing frames, good freaking luck. It is really hard. So anyway, not to say that explains the whole 34.7, but I know I had some really bad ones because flicking in particular was horrible when dropping frames. Hey, and I actually have a rating. I am Plat 1, which I think is what I was originally too. So we're going to try to push through to, I guess, Diamond. I'm not even sure what the next one is. But anyway, the big things that you'll see at the end, I'm actually going to, I've been tracking behind the scenes in Excel with some graphs and stuff like that, and I will actually show you exactly where I am week to week. I'll start putting that in the end of the video as well. So some of these scores are not bad. I kind of wanted to get everything over 50. My speed and my precision, I guess I'm not too surprised. I got a lot of feedback that like my accuracy was actually good in some of the earlier tests. So the precision being over 50 is not too surprising. The flicking being so low, it kind of surprises me, but I think it's because I don't do a lot of flicking tests. So each time I have a really bad result, it is overemphasized in the results. So, you know, if you don't have a big enough sample set, your data gets skewed more. I think I can easily bring that up just by doing more flicking. And I may start adjusting my playlist, but not until I get my tracking over 50. Because my biggest goal was to get my tracking better, and it has been happening, but it's still not to like the minimum level where I want. My perception and cognition are not going to go up, and I'll tell you why. Perception is mostly audio based things, and I thought my audio setup was good. I cannot tell where anyone is shooting from to save my life. I guess my headset is just not precise enough. It's a really good headset. It's a Sennheiser. It's like a quality open studio headset. Maybe it's not as good for directional audio because I haven't a clue, and I'm pretty sure I'm not deaf. So maybe I am. Maybe this is all very loud and I just never realized. But anyway, perception, yeah, maybe I'll invest in a new headset if that's really going to be the thing that's holding me back, because knowing where people is actually something I have some issues with. Hopefully you guys have been watching some of my highlight videos. You can actually see there's been some times where my tracking has been pretty good. I mean, there's all the clips you don't see of me missing every frigging shot from a clip. But there's been ones where I 100% track people, especially when they jump. When people jump, I just annihilate them. That rocket jump and ninja shot get you so good at kind of tracking that jumping animation that when people do it, I just destroy them. So that's definitely something that's helped with this. But yeah, those are my scores right now in AimLab. This is great because I'm finally seeing progress, and we're going to keep pushing. I'm going to probably, like I said, start adjusting my playlists as I get better, but I kind of like the playlist I have now as a pre-Apex warm-up, so I don't know if I'm going to change it too much. I actually did upload it to the Steam Workshop. If for some reason you wanted to actually check out my routine, it's on there, I hope. I haven't checked to see if it's showing. I have a nice like thumbnail and everything. It kind of goes along with everything else I've been doing on my channel. So I'll go over to Apex and show you where you are. And I hit another milestone this week. And that milestone is 1,000 kills with Wraith. Yay! I was going to say I'm a sweaty Wraith meme, but I actually have like over 1,300 with Bangalore. So I guess I'm still a sweaty Bangalore main. Somebody on a comment thread this week was saying how they find Bangalores to be the most toxic and sweaty players. I barely even see a Bangalore, so I don't know what sample set they're running with. Regardless, not a big jump in the data, but we can look into the actual raw numbers when we get into Excel. Everything's going up, not by a huge amount, but it's funny. It seems like my tracking numbers in AimLab and my overall KD and my overall average damage are kind of all heading in the same trajectory, which is cool. And I have not been playing a lot, so yeah, if I was playing more, who knows? But regardless, I'm seeing, yeah, like I said, honestly I see a benefit in doing the aim training versus just jumping into games. And again, there's a lot of factors that, other than aim, that I might actually start doing some analysis of my own gameplay to figure out stuff I can do. But yeah, 1,000 kills were great. My next tune I'm going on to is Revenant, who I also kind of like. I want to get him to 1,000 next. So I'm just trying to kind of get the tunes I like, each one up to 1,000. I don't know why, it's just kind of a random goal. Although once Season 6 starts, I'll start doing challenges, so I'll be playing everybody. But yeah, that's the raw numbers from Apex, and now let's look at some of the analysis with some fancy graphs.
Well, if you were watching my earlier videos and thinking, wow, he's really nerding out with this, oh, buckle up. We have graphs. So, I've been checking how my individual scores in the different tests in AimLab have been going, which was really screwed up by the fact that I lost data for so many weeks. So, unfortunately, these graphs don't mean nearly as much as I would like the AimLab progress, because at some point there's a reset. I actually, as I get more data, this flat section here in the middle, where between weeks 1 and 3, where the data really didn't change because I was getting no data, so I was just filling in numbers. I think what I'll be doing is I'll just kind of delete that section of data and reflect a more realistic progress. So we'll basically go from like the day one stuff, day one, week one, and then probably to week 4, and then we'll continue on from there. And it'll make more sense. It won't look like I plateaued for 3 weeks straight with no change, because that was just simply because I had no data. But interestingly enough, you can see some stuff came down. My perception number was unrealistically high at one point. It was like over 70. I think maybe it was because I did like one test and I got a result and I put a value in. Now it's come down quite a bit, but it's kind of more in line with the rest of my scores, so I'm not really that concerned about it. Also, it's not something I've been training. Cognition I had as part of my test, and I hated the one I had. I think the only cognition test I have left is the one where you shoot an orb that matches the center one, and that's mostly because it's really just more flicking testing anyway, and I don't have a lot of flicking, and it tests cognition at the same time, so what the hell, I added that one. But yeah, my scores aren't super great, but at least they're coming up. The ones that I think are important, and the ones I've actually been training, are tracking big time. I've done a ton of tracking, a bit of speed, and a little bit of precision. Not a lot, mostly tracking and speed. And the good thing about that is, if you kind of take the flat spot out here, you can see my tracking is gradually going up. And not by like a small amount. We're talking like from like 40 to around 50. That's a significant increase, and it's one of the areas of the game I actually see myself improving in. The cognition score, like I said, ignore it. My flicking has stayed pretty much steady, which is okay. I'm not too worried about that because, like I said, I haven't been drilling it. It'll be curious if I add more flicking into my playlist, whether or not we'll start seeing that flicking score go up. And if so, that might be beneficial. I don't use shotguns a lot, and I hate the wingman. I'm usually using guns that I need to track people more so to flick to them. But there are times I'll run a Mastiff, so it might be worth it to maybe add, like 20% of my tests, make them flicking based, but we'll see. The main thing is my tracking is going up and my speed is going up, which is something I've been trying to improve. And the corresponding numbers in Apex are good. Like I said, there was that after the first week, it was the golf training analogy I was making, where like you work on your swing and your score actually comes down. So that was kind of day 1 to week 1, and then after that it's been up, big jump between week 1 and week 2, and then like kind of a steady increase after that, which is cool. And again, I mean, the delta between damage is not going to change a lot week to week because it's over like thousands of games, but the number's coming up, which is good. And we look at kill death, and pretty much following the exact same trajectory as my tracking number and following the exact same trajectory as my average damage. Just uppity, uppity, up, up. not like huge differences. It is possible that I might hit point 0.9 by the end of the season, which wouldn't be too bad. Like I said in one of my earlier videos, my trajectory before that was like point 0.7. So overall, we're upwards and onwards. I don't think I'm going to hit a 1 kill death ratio this season, but season 6 is just around the corner, and I'm hoping I can do it this time. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm trying to up my training a bit. I have not been doing great on it, but there have been a couple of days now where I've done back-to-back training rounds instead of just one, and before I actually got into the game. So everything's moving upwards, and I think I have AimLab to thank for that. So anyway, for those handful of you who are tuned in, thanks for watching.